You give it here on the beach.
You like a smooth operator. Okay, guys, today is very unusual AMA. We have live from four different locations: LA Beach, LA somewhere, Europe, and Beary. Where are you right now?
Scotland.
And then Scotland. Vibe coding, technical insights, and all this stuff. So let's begin the fun. Here is Evgeny, our CEO of Guru Network, Beary, Devrel of SQD.ai, and Artem, CEO of Burning Vim. The stage is yours, guys.
And Artem, I'm here on the beach in LA because I have like babysitting duties today to the father.
Oh, cool.
And I just decide why not do real vibe session from here, like start working. I set up this beautiful tent, as you can see.
Right.
And those are LA vibes right now, LA vibes. And Artem, he's on the way here because we agreed to not do this boring, messy day in WeWork like Beary have. Beary, where you are? You're on WeWork, right?
Yeah, it looks like I got a nice view. But it's kind of cold outside, so I'm just like chilling.
Oh, can you show Edinburgh view?
Yeah. All right.
I would show some LA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but guys, actually, what we're trying to do in here, we're trying to plan some new cool stuff which should be going on our tech talks. Yeah, and that's what we had to have as a topic today, which is plan. You know, like the big plan of what we do and how we're doing it. Are you ready?
Hold on.
Is it Venice Pier?
Yeah, it's Venice
Pier, right?
Yeah, it's Venice Pier.
Yeah, because I cannot actually.
Oh shit! Is it what behind you? Is it the real castle? Or what?
Yeah, it's the real castle.
Really?
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, much better view right now.
Wait, hold on.
Does the Duke of Edinburgh lives here?
Yeah. Look at that thing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
WeWork have a nice location there.
They do, yeah. They have the best locations. Wait, hold on. I'll show you the other side. It's actually crazy. That's the other. Oh, okay. Can you see?
Wow. So where is the best bar?
It's just literally, it's literally history everywhere, man.
No, like where is the best pub? Where are you working from in there? Like what's your co-working place? Like where
My co-working place.
Vibe side max, you know.
The vibe side.
Yeah.
The castle, of course.
The castle. Oh, good.
The castle.
So what have been vibe coding from the castle?
Honestly, it's kind of difficult to vibe code with the castle in the background. Like, it's just too beautiful. Distracts you from. Okay, I've been. Yeah, so I've been doing like I've been really thinking about how to make like complex information more accessible for people. You know what I mean? Like everyone's vibe coding, but how do you really compress all this data into something that's like really easy for LLM to understand and just like, yeah, that's kind of like, you know,
in a decentralized way.
No, in a centralized way. Upload it to
in
GitHub.
The centralized. I see.
Yeah. No, but
you're talking about all those protocols like A2A, MCP, like agents talking to agents, because this is
exactly.
basically how we protocolize in those things.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean MCP is the protocol in some ways. Yeah, it's the way to protocolize information. It's not very protocolized in a crypto kind of way. I think it will be in the future, by the way. But I definitely think, I definitely think it's the step in the right direction, because once you have protocols, then things can talk to each other, right? Yeah, it's just interfaces are good, you know.
Have you seen those news from Microsoft about Windows having enabling MCP API, so you literally would be able to control your operational systems through MCP with your agent?
Yeah, I've seen that. Actually, I saw someone posted on Reddit, like, it's like, you know, Windows 10 UI with like MCPs attached, like, you know, like an MCP browser. I thought it was crazy. Like, it's just so surreal to see MCP as part of like the core Windows interface. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
crazy.
but that's the thing. That's where UI is going, basically, because whole UI UX industry is focused on making buttons and everything available for you, so you can get through onboarding fast. You would figure out where those features are, and you would be able to use them. But with agents, basically, and became a chat window or like voice messages main channel to control things, it's became obsolete. It's becoming obsolete. So you don't need these traditional interfaces maybe anymore. Everything could be, if machine understands you in natural language, why you should care where those buttons are and so on. So maybe that's the vision behind it, hooking up everything to it.
Yeah, totally. I think I think what we're gonna see is modularization. Yeah, just breaking things into pieces that were usually like huge front ends, and just like taking those front ends and breaking them up into you know, interfaces that are unique to a protocol, and attaching them to like AI clients, AI interfaces, right? Yeah, I think that's like the future, because everyone's going to be interacting with their favorite dApp through an AI, essentially, right? I don't want to go and open Guru Network. I want to I want to go to ChatGPT, and I want to be like, hey, fetch me this Guru information, this Guru Network interface, right? And I've always been a huge fan of just using modules for everything, composition modules, stuff like this, because you can really isolate you know, a component, and then you can pretty much do anything you want with it, right? The more you compose, the more you isolate, modularize, right, things, and protocolize, the more composable it becomes. The more, you know, like, if you make everything a Lego brick, right, you can build a castle out of it, and that's pretty much what MCP is, you know. You're muted, by the way. Muted.
Yeah, I just wanted to share like how we're designing those forms to communicate with the user, and those forms, they are working as an agent interface, same time as they working as interface with user. So it's literally, you know, a dynamic interface. They render dynamically from whatever you're doing in there. An agent, when you're on the step, you can hook up agent to it, and agent would try to basically solve and complete it for you. So yeah, those kind of things where you have duplicated functionality, you can do it through buttons, and at the same time there is agent, you know, which can do it for you. So you don't need to find this small tiny button somewhere in settings, you know, all the stuff which actually I'm usually when I'm hitting those things in GitLab, you know, we're using GitLab a lot for our registers, and like my kid is getting crazy in here. He loves sand, you know. Well, that's why I came to the beach, because Today I'm babysitting with him, and the easiest way to do it is basically get this guy to some sand. It's like 4 hours he's busy. Anyway, so
Super cute.
so anyway, those things we duplicating them right now in UI UX interface in traditional way, as well as we are building interfaces for agents to work the same way you do. You know, the first ideas were like, oh, let's build some browser extension, and it would like render the interfaces and would click the buttons for you and so on and so forth. And there are examples like it, right? AI controlled like screens and so on. Yeah, but but building workflows which working on both sides and have like proper interfaces, it's good. Uh, yeah, so it's all about MCP and MCP. Windows having an MCP, that's crazy. When Mac, when we will have actually MCP on top of Mac OS? That's another question. Cool.
5-7 years, and we are good to go with MCP for Mac, I think.
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about is like this launch of new tech talks and new kind of more open channels to like a DevRel channels in regards of different technologies and Web3, and we started exploring from our own projects, but we would be inviting guests and so on, and we were talking with Beary about this thing, and we were like, oh, that's what's needed in DevRel and crypto, some talks of kind of higher, maybe a little bit more technical, a little bit more geeky, because that's what we coming for into crypto conferences, right? In crypto conferences and hackathon environment, usually it's pretty geeky environment. That's why we coming there, and it hadn't been translated purely yet to kind of digital format. That's what we're trying to do in here a little bit, with experimenting with our channel. And yeah, and in there, I was thinking of where we can start. Like what kind of technical solutions we could present in there, showcasing that something could be automated, something could be given away to AI, and models which are publicly available already, which you can make to work in some workflows. And that's why over the weekend I came to idea of like. Spinning up like separate app from Guru Framework, which is like burning CTO app, and we would be experimenting on top of it. Effectively, automating different activity of CTO of crypto project. Like we would be experimenting on ourselves, So we would put together. First of all, what I was thinking, what to build in there is basically social researcher and social posting agent, because that's what every CTO need to do, right? And we already have some developments like it on Burning Meme side. That's thanks to Artem driving all the way to the beach right now. Yeah, and we also have automations for groups, kind of reporting. For example, you drop in the bot in Telegram group where you are talking to all your employees, or you're talking across your DAO or whatever. Then you have AI like models, workflow, processing it, bringing it into knowledge base, and basically giving you results in a way that you can actually figure out what was going on in this group, and then where everyone's going, and how active everyone go. Because in current world where everyone are like remote, and these teams, like we see them everywhere, especially in crypto, it's all in Telegram groups. It could be very beneficial, and we'll start experimenting on ourselves and in our communities. And that's what we're going to build during those technical sessions. And I wanted to plan a little bit for it, as well as because we have all those Web3 automations portion, and we have this account abstraction. We could hook up different crazy ideas in DeFi and build it in those live sessions as well. So that's what we would be vibe coding in there. That's my ideas. What do you think, guys? How, like, Beary, I know you hearing it first time. Like I never called you, talked about it, but how crazy it is.
I think it's insane. I think account abstraction combined with AI is just so powerful, because it really lets you create agents that are fully isolated. You can really isolate the transaction logic and just do some really cool stuff. Yeah, so I think
actually about this, Snark, can you please get us this blog post we have about our SQD integration? We'll be going through tomorrow. It's very interesting. We touched that point because we have account abstraction in there, and we will be talking. By the way, we will be talking about this tomorrow. We confirming the time right now with SQD guys, and we will have 2 sessions with SQD this week. One would be technical. It's tomorrow. We'll be talking about how we integrated SQD SDK and everything into the apps, like how it's all connected in the ecosystem, what were the struggles, what we got in the end, and so on, with them. And on Friday, Yaro would have his business session with Gary from SQD, and they would be going around, how it works on business level for everyone. So yeah, this is very cool stuff that you have AI agent where you are specifying permissions for particular assets and everything for your AI agent to control. So you basically got something in there, and like it's a good foundation for very good ideas we can build in there, actually, having it in the stack.
You guys can see who watch our stream on YouTube, link to this post right in comments. Should we go over it, or we will leave it for tomorrow?
Yeah. What for the comment? Yeah.
Should we go over this post, or we will leave it for tomorrow for a maybe third web?
Oh yeah. Let's get through it. Actually, let's get through it. Why not? Because I actually wanted to talk about this burning CTO experiment, which we're spinning up, and I already building some new BPM diagrams for it, and I wanted to plan a little bit of that. But let's go through this functionality first, because it relates to what we discussed with Beary before, in regards of what's DeFi and AI agent could look like, and what kind of cool stuff could be built in there. So first of all, what we achieved in here, we achieved that any user with any kind of social which log in into any of applications of our ecosystems get in the same wallet, and they have assets in there which they maybe earned in other app, but they have this middle grounds where everything meets, and they have the same balances. And whenever you log in through Telegram, you or Gmail or whatever, you already get in the wallet right away, and then we even dropping you some initial balance of like points in there. That's how it works. In the same time, when you setting up this wallet, you allowing the agent on the other side, your personal assistant, which is spinned up in every app, to control the functions there. So it could actually, in future, would be able to execute the strategies, do decisions for you, and so on and so forth. And this is personal agent you already have in your Telegram, which is like one click away from everything you use. And yeah, and that's what AI agents money management in here is, right? Yeah, and what else we have in here? Yeah, so how it works? Oh, by the way, because of this third web integration, it doesn't come only with authorization layer and this wallet abstraction layer, but also there is a huge catalog of audited contracts, which you can use and automate deployments of them through their wizards and through API. And that's what we started to use, for example, for deployable NFT collections in our apps, and some like our stake in even one of the contracts. So that's another like benefit of it, and it's deeply integrated into the account abstraction. So yes, that's what we're gonna talk tomorrow about, and how we integrate it, how it works in our apps. And we can utilize it for any kind of, automated Web3 bot activity, liquidity management. We talked about, for example, hooks for UniV4 for liquidity management. That's what could be utilized in there. Like, for example, yeah, Beary. For example, for people who want to get into LP through V4 hooks, yeah, why it's needed? Like we can find the best positions and get them into them and get out when yeah, something like it. What do you think? I'm just trying to brainstorm in here.
Yeah, I mean, with before concentrated positions, yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, since you can attach any contract to this or invoke any contract, then it's it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's more on the hook side. Yeah, you can definitely have with V4 like automatic positions where like people swap. I think you can simplify the usual workflows that you had with V3. So you could definitely do something really cool, and you can program like a custom logic for guru holders and such. It could be really cool. Yeah, what's the interface that's going to be connecting? What interface are you going to be using to chat with this tool? Because I'm a bit out of the loop. I'd love to know more about the interface you're using for this.
Yeah, it's basically available in every our app. So, for example, Burning, CTO. This is basically what I spinned up over the weekend for this new Burning CTO thing. Sign out. Yeah. And we added much more options for login right now. It's very
wow. Good. What are you using to sign in with Telegram? That's really cool.
Yeah, it's ShotWeb. That's what we're talking about. And then you automatically get in this account abstraction. And in here, you can actually manage this wallet. It's like a ShotWeb thing. And you can add more socials to it, as well as it's like fully hooked up to all our apps. And in whatever app you get in it. So, for example, I would get to DexGuru, and I would have the same wallet. Yeah, because I'm signed in with the same, yeah, it was the same, socials and so on. And those NFTs and achievements, they're used everywhere. So that's what creates this ecosystem. And this is a chatbot here, which is designed to work with our workflow system, where we can automate any kind of transactions which are happening on the account abstraction. So, for example, from here, you can initiate the process, which is like swapping process. Let me show you. Yeah, we in tech calls, we could go very technical, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can go technical, but I'm just curious about the top level overview of the.
So yeah, this you see, this is like our chatbot, how it's processing any request. And in here, we figuring out if we're choosing, where is it? in here and in there. Engagement. Yeah, we're figuring out what we're doing with the request and routing it somewhere. So you see if it's figured out that it's for swapping tokens, so it's getting there and analyze dashboard. So there are different options. So you can ask anything about, for example, on-chain data, and it's going to research it in on-chain data or in some dashboards or whatever. And there is swap processing here, which looks very interesting. Where is token swap? Not in here. We're not working on swap tokens. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the process where actual transactions are orchestrated and executed onto account abstraction, from both sides. Yeah, and that's what's executed on the engine of every application. So every application have its own engine. That's how it's all controlled. Sorry, I have to check on Luca here.
No worries. Yeah.
but I'm hearing everything. So that's how we're controlling it. But that thing you showed me before with usage of Verso, what it was, SDK for agents, right?
Yeah, Versal AI Kit, I think it's called, or Versal AI SDK. Yeah, it's a very powerful front-end library for UI interfaces. I think that one of the bigger letdowns right now for me is they haven't implemented MCP yet. I need to double check. Last time I checked, they didn't have MCP. It will be kind of
can you open it? Why we have a live show crazy Devin here right now.
SDK.
Yeah, actually, recently I listened to some podcast and the guy was talking about usage of the same SDK, and it's like Versal did a very great job in there, and we have Next.js in the framework, and I was actually exploring the possibility of swapping what we have in there, and it's basically working with our API. Which is on top of this diagram, like with all those different primitives and everything, to this interface. So actually, what we have in our roadmap, creating of MCP protocol on top of this chatbot thread. So which would be very cool because you would be controlling in BPMN what's actually been executed and so on. Anyway, so
yeah, let me show my screen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Share screen.
Let's go. Versal is the
All right.
There is a present button below. Just push it and you'll see the options.
Yeah, guys, see it?
Put it to the stage.
Eugen, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. Can you send me a link because it looks like I'm here.
Oh. Yeah. Send it over.
Right now. Yeah, sorry guys.
Okay. We find each other. Go for it.
Yeah. So this is the Versal AI SDK. What's up, guys? I'm being vacuumed around right now. So basically, it's a template that comes with a bunch of. So let me just show you real quick. Actually, it might be easier to show you. So I asked it write down, write down some code, and it's thinking, and it opens it on the right. So they're basically, it's a they're trying to recreate ChatGPT's. I think they're like artifacts. Claude calls them artifacts. They're basically blocks. I think ChatGPT calls them blocks. They're basically like UI interfaces that open up on the right. They're React components, but they just like basically you have a system prompt that tells the LLM, you have to open you have to open this tool based on whenever. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Excuse me. Can you just 1 second? Thank you. So just getting back in. So basically, it opens up. It has like you have like an array of components that it picks from, and so in this case, it's a code block, right? Sometimes, if we could just go to like the new one, I could say write me an essay. So it does. As you can see, it's kind of similar. So it still opens up like a thing on the right, but it's a totally different type of content, right? So it's this is like text-based. So if you're writing like a Medium article, or if you're using Word document, it's like really useful. So this is it's like really powerful if you have like a component that's specifically dedicated to crypto, for example, you know, like, or like blockchain data. You might, you know, it can open it on the right side. They also have, so you can like just play with it, open it and close it. And they also have, what's the weather in San Francisco? Okay, let's go for Poland. Yes, yes, please. And the other cool thing is you can see the like you can have React components right in your window. So it's quite powerful. You can imagine like if you have like, you know, you can basically like plug in some SQD indexer and like get you know, real-time charts in here, for example, and it's you know, it's components, so you can interact with it. You can, in this example you can't, but like usually you can just like press on the day and maybe it will open the block. And the way these components communicate between each other is through LLMs sending prompts. So that's really, yeah, so that's really powerful, and I can't wait for them to add MCPs. And this is, so basically, like, let me just show you real quick. So this is powered by AI SDK, Vercel AI SDK. So they have the front end side, so you can do AI SDK UI. This is basically to help you build. They provide you a bunch of hooks that you can use to like use chat, use completion to build up your apps. And they also have AI SDK core, which is the backend library. So you can have like serverless functions that basically they act as your agent brain, right? So you interact with them. So they support tool calling, right? So you can do, you know, you can add tools like get weather, get all these other things. And yeah, it's pretty powerful. The beautiful thing about this library is it merges, you know, the front end aspect and the you know, the back end, and you can build some really cool stuff. And obviously it runs on Next.js natively. So I've been seeing like a lot of like every time I go to a conference, I often see like most of the apps are using Vercel AI SDK because it's just so powerful for you know, AI applications. Most of the apps in crypto are built using React. So this is you know, this is like yeah, as close as it gets to a complete solution.
Yeah, it looks very cool, and what you were showing me to me was what you've built as just a weekend kind of joking around project where on top of it you built like a AI block explorer which you can ask about transactions and it finds them and so on. It was very cool.
Yeah, it was maybe I can get it up for you in a moment. Yeah, basically it's for it's a very powerful way to interact with GraphQL based APIs. So you just talk to it in English and you say, hey, I want to get top 10, I don't know, the biggest whales on ETH, for example, right? And it creates a GraphQL query. So for example, you can attach it to like a squid, you know, an SQD squid, and just talk to it in English. So like you can be like, hey, get me the top 10 whales for this token. It will go create this GraphQL query and just fetch this data and give it back to you. And then you can also keep working on it. So you can be like, hey, why don't you get me, what LP positions they have, for example, and stuff like this. So it's actually very, it's a very powerful way to speak with data, because people don't usually, like GraphQL, like for me, I don't know, especially for very complicated GraphQL schemas, for me, it's very difficult to interact with them.
Yeah, and that's our experience as well. When we were building Block Explorer, it was the first time we actually decided to build on top of GraphQL. And basically, Apollo client, it simplifies things, but the schema is so strict that you're always dealing with like stuff between backend and front end and adjusting it. Yeah, and that sometimes it's very hard to understand. I'm with you in here.
Yeah, for sure. One sec, I'm just getting into a booth.
Yeah, that's interesting. You reminded me about it, because yeah, we're working on this Block Explorer project right now, and it was actually the first and the last project we've built on top of GraphQL API. Like.
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I think AI is really good for things like GraphQL and SQL and all these languages, because it already has a ton of knowledge that has been trained on. So there's a ton of information about GraphQL and SQL online. So for it, it's really good at pattern recognition. So it can really like take this like English phrase and convert it to a query. It's just something that it excels at, and it's actually something that we as people really struggle with, right? So to me, this is like one of the most beautiful applications for AI, solving these kind of mundane problems. Instead of going through schemas and tables and like finding out relationships, you can just ask AI to like, what do you think the connections are? And AI is like, yeah, sure. Let me just like, in 5 seconds, it just gets you the result that you need. And it's like, it's just magical.
But how you solve that problem that it's choosing the right path all the way, and so on, because you have to decide on descriptions for the queries, for the models and so on. Like, have you seen some issues in there? Because that's what we actually see when we're trying to, ask model to choose a tool it's using for particular thing. If it's like two, 3 different options, it's okay. When it's 5, 10, 20, you already segmenting, you already like starting doing something around it and so on. What you've seen in
there? So I think some of the most important things you can do is optimize context, optimize the LLM context. So if your context is full of information that's not related to your query, then it's just not gonna perform as well. It's gonna hallucinate, and it's just not gonna be, you're just not gonna get the result that you want. Basically, like the way I look at LLMs, you have to compartmentalize them. Like think about it as like atoms, like MCP, right? So this tool is very good at a particular thing. So if you optimize this tool for this particular task and you just maximize the context to be, used for this task to the full extent, that way LLM will just perform so much better. Yeah, I think it's just kind of comes down to that. Picking the right model. You don't always need the most powerful model. Sometimes, like a thinking model might not be what you need, right? For GraphQL, for creating GraphQL queries or like SQL queries, because like a lot of these tokens, so there's a lot of thinking, right? So it uses up tokens as well. You might not wanna, and it takes a lot of time. So it's probably not the best tool for the job. So maybe you just want a model that has a very good context window, and such as like Gemini models are really good for big context windows, right? And yeah, I'm just talking about it from my experience, right? And it's all about prompting as well. So like if you prompt it properly, give it examples, right? So maybe you want, you know, especially if you're dealing with very complicated nested data, you want to give it examples, and you want to tell it, hey, you specialize in complex nested GraphQL queries. Like, don't forget it. You're like a specialist at this, and the LLM will actually perform better because of it. They're just like little tricks that you can do to optimize your prompt. But when it works, you know, the result is incredible.
Yeah, right. Prompt is a king. Actually, I was thinking about what's also make it really complicated to human to handle. It's your portfolio. It's actually sometimes it's need to be some actions need to be done. So like you need to fix it, like get I know body of your initial investment and get it back to you and sell it like all the time, like not when you decided to do this, but I would say like maybe it's like a few trades a day, and you just need to, you can do it with AI. That's what we actually talking about right now. And I was talking with a guy who was like, okay, I have I don't know, like 4,000 USD worth of tokens, and actually when it get more than it was, at least for 10%, but less than 30%, I want to fix. I want to sell a portion which is bigger than initial amounts that I put in there. And if we can automate this thing, it will be much less missed opportunities, and you won't sit on the bear market thinking like, why I didn't sell this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Yeah, exactly.
actually also becoming possible with account abstraction and automated workflows built on Camunda. Yeah, that's what we are working right now. And we also have these thoughts like about automated strategies with meme coins. So if you got something right, you
We're
can
getting feedback from someone. Just
you can do some actions,
yeah,
like to get the body, or like automatically buy like best memes which is performing better. Yeah.
that's really good. How does it work under the hood? What do you guys use for data, and what do you use for strategies?
This is what I'm showing. It's actually Carbon. You know, Carbon. They doing automated strategies on chain. So you literally deploying your strategy as a smart contract, and so on. And we actually were talking about integration with them when we finish on working on account abstraction. So basically, it would be those automated strategies on top of account abstraction. Quite interesting idea, and we already checked the SDK. We checked how we can do it and so on, and it's easily deployable, and we can build with them. Yeah. So have you did you hear about them?
Amazing. I haven't heard about them. I know of a project that's been heavily using SQD. It's it's an agent launched with virtuals called SQD.ai, and it's basically using like SQD data as the source, and they actually train their own ML models to trade, and the performance has been pretty good. You know, I'm just like keeping an eye on it, because I feel like it's one of the more utility based, you know, like a project that delivers. Always nice to see agents that do well, you know, coming out of the launchpad. scene, because there's just so many projects never see light of day. But when sometimes you get projects that actually deliver, and like and yeah, it's really interesting for me. Like I haven't dived too much into it, but having like an actual dedicated model for trading, like actually training on the blockchain data, just creating your own data sets, training on this data, and then executing the strategies, testing them out, see where it takes you. Because like it all comes down to like it's MEV and all these things. It's all like automated trading, right? End of the day. And there's so many strategies you can execute. You can execute, for example, you can look at trades. You can look at trades of whales, right? And you can be like, okay, whales are trading this. These are wallets, and you can like trade based on that. But also sometimes you have like maybe you specialize in launch pads, right? You're tracking Palm Fund tokens, for example, and you based on all this data, you can find a strategy where if this token launch has these parameters, it's more likely to succeed. And you basically train your model on that. So yeah, I mean,
yes. One of the ideas we've got recently is like we need to hook it up not only to on-chain data, but to social data. So we from social, the influencers, we need a list of influencers. We tracking them, and basically based on what they mentioning, there is much more. When you're talking about marketing wave, it's usually precursor to actual price wave. When we're talking about technical analysis, it's like post-mortem usually. That's how it works. So with social analysis, it gives new perspective, especially if we would be able to train the model on top of it. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I think now you have a lot more of these, like Twitter bots, Twitter agents that come with the that you can tweet at, and they launch a token for you, right? So Believe has been like a popular protocol lately, where you can tweet at the bot, the protocol, and will create like a token. And like you can always track like what kind of people launch this stuff. So token launches, it's on blockchain, right? But this aspect of like this off-chain data, understanding who the people are who are interacting with this token, or interacting with this creator, or interacting, or who the creator was that launched it, is very interesting, because it might increase the probability of token performing well or not. And that's actually something I've been looking at building as well. We have a team of builders. We call them like boost builders, and they're always exploring different. They're always exploring different things they can build using SQD, basically, because we have like all this data, right? And we're just indexing it. But what you can actually do is you can call a third-party API. So like you can call a Twitter API with SQD, So like you are indexing token launches. You're indexing Palm Fund, for example, and then like you need new token launches, and you can start crawling off-chain data, right? And and generate data sets and signals based on that. So that can be pretty powerful as well. And I think it's just it's a very modern way of building apps in general, because people like before, people used to concentrate on all chain data, but things aren't always stored on chain. Like a lot of devs store things on IPFS, but it's just like with Solana especially, more and more people rely on, more and more protocol devs build using centralized databases, right? So I think we need better tools for that, to just kind of track things that are not always on chain. All right, this is the vibe coding.
Well, what we guys vibe coding here today? Let's talk about it.
No, like we just talked about trading strategies and everything, how the market could be improved.
You muted yourself.
Sorry. Yeah, we were talking about those markets and everything, and how those could be improved by different social like features and everything from the data. And I believe Artem knows everything about it, because Burning Meme is all about social sharing, voting, like chipping in for particular tokens and so on. So yeah, Artem, what do you think on it? Like that's the idea while we are working on this thing.
Yeah. My question is that are we going to build this on BPM and Camunda BPM and schemas, or some other way? I believe that most of things we built with Camunda. So yeah, we need to create some flow to understand this flow and then implement it right now. But it's not much about vibe coding, I would say. It's like more about regular coding.
Yeah, I think the more I've been doing vibe coding, the more I've realized people focus too much on vibe coding from just like the usual vibe coding experiences. You have a prompt, it's very detailed, and you try to one-shot it, basically get it all in one go, as much of an app as possible, and make sure it works as well as it can, because afterwards you're going to open up Cursor and you're going to be debugging. You're going to be like, okay, this feature was wrong, can you change it, can you edit all these things? I think like vibe coding should be more integrated into the project, at the actual project level, at the folder level, right? Because it's all text. Yeah, so I think vibe coding basically will evolve to be not just vibe coding like for fun. It's going to become science, I think, in the near future, like as people build like better tools for it, because it is actually a superior way of building apps in a lot of cases, right? I prefer reading English most of the time than reading code. I open up some Rust code, for example. I'm like, oftentimes people like overly optimize their app, and you're like, I have to read through all this, okay? But like, you have like an English version of this. Like this is, like you can use comments for this. Like that's fine, but I still think, just this juxtaposition of English and code is still not as optimal as working from English down.
Oh. Yeah, I believe we would need to finish our planning soon, because my son already too bored and I need to do something about it. But anyway, what we're getting into: Guru AI trading agent and automation bot. What we can do: traders and agent looking for automated liquidity management, spot trading, portfolio balances, and everything. Airdrop hunters, routine driven, blah blah blah. Wallet portfolio. Cool. We can start thinking about what we're doing on our next tech session, where we would be vibe coding particular things from this list or something else. I believe that's a good summary for today's today's job we've done, like exploring different options, what's interesting, what's not in AI, in crypto and DeFi, and we've got something going, and it's all related to data as well. That's why we have Beary from Sweden here, because we're hooking up Squid SDK to Guru Indexer, and starting powering up explorers in there. And with explorers, we would be able to power up those trading bots as well, which we just basically architect.
Yeah, I feel quite inspired, by this conversation. I think after we're done with the Explorer, we can definitely move on to some AI agents, and just using using SQD to build some, to integrate with the Guru AI and agent products. because because I think it's like what you guys have built is like super powerful.
Start from AI Explorer.
Yeah, Explorer. I mean, why not? It's like
especially if it has execution, like it could execute swaps, it could execute strategies through Carbon, for example, or something like it. It's very powerful.
Yeah, 100%. Could build an extension to Carbon, like that's optimized for different types of strategies. It's there's so many options, right? And you guys have a very talented team. I've always been impressed with Dex Guru's engineers. You guys have the fastest and the most competent devs out there. Some of the.
Thank you. Kudos to the team, and kudos to Squid team as well. What we've seen already, and what we're planning to do is like crazy. Cool. So we have a plan for the next tech streams. We are building a new app, which I showed today in between the things, like burning CTO app with different workflows, which I'm doing from myself. Like I'm creating my own avatar, my own workflows in there. Would be selling them. So that's what we're going to be doing in those lives as well, and showcasing how it could work for everyone. And those trading bots ideas based off our account abstraction and everything, and Squid data. It's good. It's good. Let's execute on it. Yeah. So cool.
100%.
Who's in LA wants to get a coffee? Yeah, when I would get my kid asleep, I would be more than happy to. I actually need to walk in with a stroller right now and get him sleeping. Yeah. I'm doing both. Vibe coding and vibes are beautiful. Actually, I love this weather.
Wow.
Better than sunny and everything. You see, Artem with Aperol here. Aperol already done. I still have some. And here is my son getting bored all of it and want to sleep. So I'll get him asleep, and we'll have a couple of more hours here with Artem. I believe we wanted to ship some Burning Man stuff. And some of our friends actually coming to vibe code here as well. I said bring laptops and everything. So it would be good, but I need to get my kid asleep.
Yeah, I was actually very impressed with the internet connection. Just you guys like on the beach, and I feel like that's not the kind of place that would have like the most stable internet connection, but I guess LA.
That's not how it works in UK, right?
No. You yeah, in UK you leave your Wi-Fi router, and instantly it's just pure pain.
Okay, cool guys. We have a plan. We're doing it, and we're executing on more tech talks. Tomorrow we have a third web tech talk, and on Friday we have a third web business tech talk. See you in there, and cool. I need to shut off and already go. Good talks, guys. Thank you. Thanks everyone for all your time. And let's continue. Let's keep it going like this. It's very interesting.
Thank you, Evgeny. Thank you, Artem. Thank you, Beary. It was, first of all, it was beautiful, and it was interesting. Let's continue on our next live stream.
Fantastic.
And thank you everyone who joined us. We will see you next time. Keep it cool, guys.
Yeah, thanks everyone.